Hampshire have left themselves with work to do to reach the last 8 of this season's NatWest T20 Blast after they slipped to a third successive defeat, their latest by 23 runs at home to Glamorgan. Jacques Rudolph and Colin Ingram open up with a stand of 36 in the first 4 overs after the former won the toss. Ingram the first to go when he offered James Vince a steepling catch off Gareth Berg, the fielder judging the take really well. Hampshire put themselves in a good place when Yasser Arafat had Ben Wright brilliantly held by Jackson Bird after the batsman had made a dozen of these 64 runs on the board in the 8th over. It was an outstanding piece of fielding from the Australian, who had no right really to cling on as he did. Danny Briggs had something to celebrate in the next over when Chris Cook carved the bowler straight to Jimmy Adams at backward point, leaving it to Rudolph to keep the Glamorgan innings going by getting to a 50 off 31 deliveries, an innings thus far containing 7 boundaries. The South African played the innings of the night to allow others to play around him. But the home team were still well placed when they reduced the visitors to 82 for 4 after 11 overs. David Lloyd the next to go as he perfectly picked out Chris Wood on the square leg boundary. All was going pretty much as Hampshire would have wanted, as they kept nipping in with wickets at important moments. Mark Wallace the next to go as he nicked off to Berg, Adam Wheater with another very smart catch to delight those at the ground. When Rudolph's innings was ended on 77 by Wood, Wheater showing a turn of speed to complete the dismissal, Glamorgan were left on 136 for 6 midway through the 17th over. But that over ended up being an expensive one as Craig Macheda had a real go. Will Smith was very unlucky not to pull off a stunner on the boundary's edge before the batsman cleared the rope again 2 balls later. Thanks to the on-loan Somerset man, the Welshmen finished their innings off very strongly. Yasser Arafat and Berg were both smashed out of sight by Macheda, whose innings made all the difference to the eventual outcome of this match. Even though Andrew Salter was out in the penultimate over, caught in the deep by Wood off Berg, Macheda's 35 off 17 deliveries, and innings with no 4s but 4 6s, helped Glamorgan to a total of 181 for 7 from their 20 overs. Hampshire then made a rather sluggish start to their reply until Michael Carberry launched into Macheda to give the bowler some of his own medicine. That was the shot of the night. Carberry then went after Michael Hogan, smashing him for 3 successive 4s in the next over, the 4th, as 69 runs were put on by the 2 Hampshire openers, those runs being made in 7.5 overs. Vince was just starting to get into his groove when he chipped to Dean Koska of Salter, the radar for once just a fraction out, to go for 28, but he, along with his partner, had laid a very good platform for the rest to build on. Carberry was key, of course. His second 6, this one off Salter, took him to a fine 50 off only 32 balls, and if he could keep going while getting support from the rest, then this game could be won from here. Even those home fans in the crowd show how skilled they can be in this game. It was Carberry's 25th half-century in this format. The total read 87 for 1 at the halfway stage of the reply, 95 more needed off the last 10 overs when Adams was trapped in front by the part-time bowler Rudolph. Carberry kept going though. He hit Koska for his third 6, only to lose Owe Shah at the other end in an almost identical fashion to Adams. Another leg before victim, this time to the left-arm spinner. Shah was out for 5, the same as Adams, and when Carberry for once didn't fully middle a shot and was held in the deep by who else but Rudolph, Hampshire were left on 117 for 4 with another 65 runs to be found from the final 6 overs. Carberry's 70 was made off 46 balls, and as it was to turn out, with him went the game. Rudolph ended with figures of 2 for 8 from 2 overs as Smith was caught by Hogan as the batsman just failed to get enough on his shot. And when Wheater holed out to Salter off Koska, the match was over and done with. 34 runs left to find off the last over, which was never going to happen. A lack of boundaries had cost Hampshire, just 1 6 and 1 4 being struck after the loss of Carberry, with 6 overs still to go. The home team ended then on 158 for 6, and that meant a loss by 23 runs. Hampshire have 4 games left to turn things around, and all is by no means lost, as they are only 2 points out of the top 4 and with a game in hand. They are back at home for the visit of Surrey next Friday.